Okay, so I just want to speak words.
Yeah.
I think that helps a lot. So, I think I have it written down somewhere else, but I'll just do it off what I know now. Okay, so the reason I'm in business is one, again, if I can learn to sell anything, especially things that I'm good at, I can do anything. I can work anywhere. I can sell literally anything, which allows me to, again, like my whole goal is to just be as flexible as possible with my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so specifically with my business, if I can learn, so, and again, this is all kind of predicated off the fact that if other people can do it, I can do it. There's like perception's reality. It's not some anomaly anymore. It's like, okay, I can figure this out. What that allows me to do is, again, I set my income limit, I set my schedule, I set my location. I'm really not bound to anything at this point, other than my own abilities, which I've already know I can improve. And yeah, it's just a matter of valuing myself appropriately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, what does that mean? What do I actually have to do? Some things, I have to be able to buy food. I generally have to buy some place to live. I have to pay off my loans and buy things that bring me joy, simply put, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's the baseline. Those are the things I want to do, and save for the future, in case, yeah, and just generally save. I have my numbers. Like, I think monthly, I have to meet to buy food, and for now rent. Okay, how about this? For food, it's around like $200, right?
Mm-hmm.
For loans, it's anywhere from like 500 to 1100.
What do you mean anywhere from?
1100, I pay them off in 8 years. 500,
Oh,
pay them off in
those
like
are-
30 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now, rent is around 900, which is pretty nasty.
Yeah.
But again, if I live in the cities, I pay less in my car, so
Yeah.
it kind of make it. It's about even, unless I use my car all the time, which I do. Yeah, car is, I don't know, around 100-ish. So like, I think with all of these things in mind, if I save, I don't know, let's just say, if I save 200, miscellaneous things 300, I don't know. All in all, like, this can easily be around like $2,500 or $3,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
So like, if I get over if I get around $2,500 a month, I'm solid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I do things legally, I have to make that times 0.33.
Have one.
So what that means is, yeah, like around $3,400 legally. Okay, that's very achievable. Yeah, I guess that's kind of the money side of it, right? As far as like, okay, well, if I just want to make 3,400, why don't I just go work for Sojeti, the Nerdery, whatever? I could, but again, there's more to it than money, right? And so, yeah, I guess my biggest thing is like, for you, Diana, what Matt did, which is funny because he told you to look at kind of what current leaders do, and what Matt did for you is the perfect example of something you should look at. Is Matt gave you something tangible. He gave you something specific, or how about this? He gave you a time in a year. Is it relevant? Yes, it totally is. The thing he told you to observe is extremely relevant to what you want to do. How? I mean, we're doing it right now. That's one way. Or just to again, like, understand the why of why people tell you to do things. Measurable. Can you track? I don't know. That's something you have to figure out. But who, what, where, when, why, you can also answer those. So like, he gave you something that every day you can be like, okay, I can, like, it's extremely tangible. With me, I don't really have that. It's just like, the only tangible things I do are, am I still in business? And do I know what I should be doing? Honestly, totally honestly, that's what I've been flying off. Like, I know, again, and I know the perks of having a business. I know the perks of what I'm doing. I know the downsides. But like, again, I don't have anything that's tangible. Like, oh, and by April, I will have this part of my business down, and I'll have this much money coming in, and I'll have this many clients, and maybe I'll have a little intern by then. I don't really have that. And so that's the biggest thing that I would love your input on, is day by day I can create things. Like, we can go through my to-do list, and there's a lot of things that are measurable. But towards what goal? Like, I don't know.
So the very first thing you said is you want to live as flexible as possible, and like have flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's your biggest goal. So we're gonna start there, and then you'll break it down into smaller things. Like, what do I need to do to be able to get there?
Okay.
And like you mentioned a couple things, I don't remember exactly what they were. Like, oh, you need to meet that. Like, oh, there's like business things you can do to get there, and like personal things. So like, you can break it up however you want, basically. But starting with that goal, like, I want to have a flexible life. When do you want to have that flexible life by? Like, when do you want to be living what you have as this ideal life?
Now. And to a degree, I already am. You know, I guess technically my lease ends in April or something like that, or May. So that's not as flexible. But as far as schedule, I can work from 4:30 to 7 p.m. I can work from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I have that.
Okay, so two other things you mentioned.
I don't have money. I don't have the money. That's the thing. Which I do and I don't.
Okay, so break it down from there. So like, you want to be flexible. To do that, you need money. From there, to have money, you need to have clients, and you need to like do work, right? So how can you get more clients? Like, and set a goal based off that. Like, just keep breaking it down into smaller chunks. Like, in my head, I picture like a tree. You have the starting ideal situation, and then you can break it down like to personal, business, like whatever else, financial, and then have smaller goals off that, and then just keep breaking it down.
Okay. So yeah, I guess, and again, okay, that's a good start.
And sometimes like, so like one thing you mentioned was like having an employee or an intern or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just pick a time, and then like, okay, if I want to have an employee in July, what do I need to do in order for me to get to that point?
And this is where, once I start thinking about that exact question, I get super fuzzy.
Well,
That
you
is
need to grow your
exactly.
business. You need to have more work. You need to have enough work. You need to have too much work for one person to do that you don't have any other choice but to have to get a second person.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. See, and
That's like-
even as I'm thinking right now, like, I've thought about this. So, habits, right? At this point, I've formed a habit to just, like, kind of shut down when I think of that stuff. Because I'm so uncertain. Like, I understand what you're doing by asking me, what do I need to do, which is the right thing to do. But I've done that so much that I'm asking for help. Like, if you told me, I'm pretty much asking you to tell me, set a goal for me. Is that sustainable? No, it's not. But at this very moment, I think that's what I could very much use.
I don't think you need me to tell you.
I don't.
I think you need to have me ask you the right questions so you can make the connection yourself. Because I know you have it within you.
I do.
I'm just helping you. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
I know. I appreciate that. Not that I don't. Not that I don't think you could or should not tell me what to do, but you're right.
I do tell you what to do, and then you get mad and tell me what to do, so I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Okay, so I think for me, okay. The big thing is, I mean, in any business, it's money.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to pay off my bills with goodwill
Mm-hmm.
and charitable acts, but at the end of the day, I need money. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I've done a good job at on the past few months, just really separating like a dire need for money, and just it's just what is it called? It's not. It's just a means, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've done a good job. So now I understand. Like, okay, it's just a means, like, whatever, but I still need it.
Right.
So
So, are you meeting the money qualification right now?
I could be.
So, what do you need to do in order to get there? You need more clients. You need more work.
Yes and yes. Yes and yes, kind of. So, like, with Terry's thing, like, I think that could be at minimum $3,000. So, I already have it. With Andy's thing, I'm meeting with him. He's coming over, I think, on Monday, and that'll be another few $100. So, that's gonna be illegally, though, I think. So that'll cut down. So, as far as money, like, it's there for me to grab. For now. But once Terry's thing's done, I definitely need more.
Why are you waiting until then, until it's done to get more? Why are
I'm trying to do both. Like, for example, I
the
mean,
more you get makes more options for you to have someone to find someone to help you.
I agree, and that's what I've been doing these past few weeks. I've emailed 1, 2, possibly 3, 4. I'm trying to set up meetings next week with 4 people. Maybe there's more than that. But 2, yeah. So I'm doing that, but at some point I have to do Terry's thing.
That's true.
And so the past few weeks I've just been neglecting it pretty much, but now I understand, okay, I have to do it. Let's just do it. So for now, you're right. I want to keep focusing on getting more clients, and that's why I'm setting aside generally a day to do that. But the other, at least 3 days, I want to be working on his thing.
Yeah, you can't be trying to get new clients if you're neglecting your current clients. That's not right.
Exactly. I agree. I totally agree. Okay, so one thing to tie in the financial aspect is like, I want to set goals by, like, I want to plan. I would love to plan out this entire CRM and be like, these are all the features. This is the work that needs to be done. And then I can just grab each feature.
Yeah. So planning it out is like a big thing. What if you plan out a smaller part of it?
I know.
Can you break that, just planning it? Can you break planning it down into planning out smaller parts of it?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. So do that, and then with those smaller parts, maybe you can break those down further. I'm all about breaking stuff, like goals is breaking stuff things like down into smaller things. Like what I have for my goals is I have like, I think I call it themes. Like, so your theme would be like flexibility. And like, in order to get to that like overarching theme in my life of flexibility, what are actionable things I can do that help increase my ability for flexibility? And that's literally how goals work. Like if you think of like a long-term goal, like I want to be a CEO someday.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do now so that I'm on track to get there? Because like maybe you can't like, that's where I really struggle. Like I was terrible at setting goals at first. And like I really struggled with like, if I have a long-term goal, that's so far off. Like I can't do anything now to get there, but it's like, yes, you can if you think backwards. Like, okay, if I want to be a CEO,
Just reverse engineering.
I have to manage.
Begin with the end in mind.
Yeah.
That's a big theme in a lot of books. Okay, that reminded me of kind of why I wanted to talk in the first place quickly. Is like, okay. As far as breaking things down, I love to break things down into just 30 minutes. If you have a task like create CRM, that's not going to take 30 minutes. But create backend, okay, that's still not going to take 30 minutes. Create REST endpoint, well, that could be 30 minutes. So it's like, I understand that. The big thing for me, again, the reason I wanted to talk is I would love longer term goals. Like, again, your Matt was like, here's your 1 year goal. I've earlier a few times this week I've talked about if I keep doing this in 1 year, if I keep doing this in 3 years, if I keep doing this in 5 years, I know it's the right choice. But I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what those 3 year, 5 years look like.
And I feel like if you don't try to grow, you won't enjoy it, you know? So it's like, how do you get yourself on track to grow in the next year, 3 years, 5 years?
I am, and honestly, I am growing. I can, and that's measurable by the amount of people I've been talking to, the amount of...
You should track that sometime.
I started to, actually. It's really nice. We'll get into that later, but...
Do you mind if I start mixing the muffins? Because I want to get them, and I can make them and have them cooking during my video.
Okay.
But I'm listening.
I appreciate that. So, like, okay, I guess here's something important before I ask you how, but do you personally have someone, now you have a 3, 5 year goals, which...
No. I'm really bad at long-term goals.
So then maybe you're not the best person to ask.
And
no offense, but
that's fine. And like,
I'm not the best person.
I didn't even think of what Matt just told me as a goal until you said it that way.
But it is.
But I didn't think, you know what I mean? Like, that's my point, is like, I don't think about stuff that way.
Okay, fine. So how about this? Because in the book that I started reading, I think I wrote these down, didn't I? Yeah. So, in the book that I started reading, it's called Traction. And I've started noticing a lot of like entrepreneurs or leaders use traction as kind of as a descriptor, right? Or just like an adjective.
Getting traction.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. So this is what he says. Here's your organizational checkup. And this is for corporations generally, but we have a clear vision in writing and is properly shared and communicated by everyone. And you're supposed to rank these 1 through 5.
Do you have a vision?
Nope. So this is the thing. Okay.
There, goal. Make a vision.
I know, but how?
Write
Honestly.
it down?
Honestly, again, the thing is, I kind of told you my vision from the start, right? Like, my vision of my business is to be self-sustaining, flexible in terms of time, location, time and location. I mean, that's convention, and like financial flexibility, right?
That's not a business. That's a personal goal.
But that's done through business. But you're right. You're right. So then, yeah, you're right. So you're totally right. That's the only vision I have of myself, which technically is my business, right? Well, not really. They're kind of separate things. Okay, so fine. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. I don't have a vision for my business. I'm not like, well, in 1 year I will have, I'll be creating websites left and right for photographers, and I'll have an intern. Like, I don't have that. You're
You
totally
need
right.
a mission statement. Like, what is Sergio Solutions' mission statement? What's NDO Distribution's mission statement? To do what? What is this company here for?
That's what I don't know.
So maybe that's what you should spend some time figuring out. Like, Cigna's is to improve the health, well-being, and sense of security of the people we serve.
While taking so much money out of your pocket.
But
Sorry,
you
that's me.
can't. If you're focused on the money, you're in it for the wrong reasons. You need to be focused on your customers.
No, I was talking
To
about.
build-
I was talking about Cygnus.
I know, but like everyone, no one makes a business because they like don't want money. Like everyone wants money.
And I agree, and I think that was established.
So like, what value is Sergio Solutions adding to people's lives? Like to create web solutions for small businesses to help, like come up with some, like why? Why are you doing this? Why did you make your own business that's not centered around you?
Honestly, a why is I love, like, okay, okay. I want to be I guess the first thing I think of is I'm personable. I'm empathetic, right? Which I understand. I want to be able to actually listen to you, listen to why, like, you're right. Like, I don't want to. I'm not here to take your money. I am providing a service to, like, fit one of your needs. Because so many people want programmers or want to website or want to code, and I know how to do that. Just like I would love more exposure to marketing. You know, it's an equal exchange. Like, I always want things to be a win-win.
So write all these things down so you can remember this. Because you're just brainstorming right now.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, I mean, at its core, like, I want if somebody pays me, let's say $1,000, I want you to get 2,000 or more out of it, you know? Like, because,